Flosstube, it's Lindsay and welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches. Today is Saturday the 15th of June. Yeah, Saturday the 15th of June, and this is Flosstube number 49. It has been a little while since I filmed and yeah, just life got in the way basically. We had the May half-term holiday towards the end of May, and that was the first weekend of that. I was away in London for my birthday. I had a very lovely birthday weekend away with Stefan. He planned lots of lovely things for us to do. I did put some pictures up on my Instagram, so if you want to know a little bit more about what I did in London, then you can go and check those out. And then at the end of half term, our downstairs bathroom was started, and yeah, filming during that period just wasn't going to happen. Not only, you know, during the day was it very noisy, obviously, but also the house was just a mess. You know, you have one room done, you know, decorated or whatever, but actually you've got stuff from that room in other rooms of the house, and then you've got all of the dust that it creates and that sort of thing. So I feel like so the bathroom was finished on Wednesday this week, and we're just starting to get back to normal again. So Stefan has taken Bella out to dance this morning, so I thought I would take this opportunity to sit down and film and catch up with you all about what I've been doing for my 40 for 40 and for my Just June as well. So let's just dive in, because I have a pile of whips / new starts over here that I want to go through with you. So we're just going to get started basically. Let's start with a biggie. So these are all of my 40 for 40 whips. So I started a project, if you saw my last video, where I'm starting 40 new projects for my 40th birthday. And I was going to do that sort of like every day in May and then continue on. But the way that May worked out, I didn't do that in the end. So I stopped to do my Fruits of Plenty and my Quick Stitch Tranquil Tulip. I stopped for a few days because we were away in London. And then I decided at the end of May, I want to do Just June. I was at a point where I needed to work on a whip basically. So I am still going to continue on with that, but I'm not going to do it so rigidly day after day. I mean, I start a lot of things anyway, but yeah, I'll still start those 40 things, but just maybe perhaps by the end of this year. So just flicking back in my diary, my cross stitch diary, just to see what I've done on things. Okay, so one of the projects I started, these aren't going to be in any particular order. Hold on a second. Gosh, it is officially hay fever season for me. So this is Super Size Max Colour, The Grand Library, artwork by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I've had this kitted up with a piece of material for ages, and obviously I see people on Instagram all the time stitching this, and it is beautiful, and I especially like this little fire scene here. So I decided to start in the middle with this one for something different. So that's what I did. I am stitching this 1/1 full cross on 25 count white even weave, which is my preferred way of stitching full coverage, and also my preferred fabric count. To be fair, I haven't tried things like 28 and 32 count, but when you know you like something, just go with it. So I'm going to work out how I'm going to do this. I started stitching this with, well, I'm stitching this with Royal Broidery threads as well. So I think this is going to be the right way up, yeah. So I stitched 896 stitches, and let me just tell you the percentage that I'm at. 896 stitches. And I'm at 0.13%. So how am I going to show this to you? I'm just trying to get it the right way. So I think this is the right way. Wrangle material. So yeah, so that's where we're up to. So I started bangs back in the middle, and then I wanted to work my way down to the beginning of the chair. So you've got some of like the fire in the fireplace here, and then this is the beginning of the chair. So obviously it doesn't look like much at the moment, but I'm really glad to have started it. You know, somebody commented on my Instagram, you know, you're going to have to live a long time to finish all these projects. But, you know, sometimes finishing isn't always the goal. It's just having a good time. Sometimes it is the goal. And I know that there are lots of people that are product orientated. And I do like the product, don't get me wrong, but I really like the process. So yeah, where have I put that? Let's put that there. So that's that one. I want to leave my Just June project till last, so let's leave that up there. Apologies for reaching. Right, project number 2. Okay, this is Ariel in the Bottle. And I can't remember the designer. Hold on a second, because I've probably got it written down at the back of my planner somewhere. There we go. So Ariel in the Bottle is by Victoria Ivchenko. And I think I bought this from her Boosty shop. She is on Instagram. But I saw Lauren from Cross Stitch Bunnies stitching this, and she did finish this. I think it was last year. And I really, really loved it. So I started it. I'm using, again, Royal Embroidery floss for this. And this is a piece of 28 count even weave from Coffee Craft Fabrics. I can't remember whether it was a fabric of the month or yeah, I don't know, but it's this lovely, get the true colour of it. Back here is more the true colour of it, but it's, see up here it's sort of more aqua, it's more aqua up here. That's sort of like the truer colour of it. It's looking quite pale on camera at the moment. Yeah, it is a lot more aqua in real life. So again, I started in the middle because it's not sort of a uniform shape. And this is where we got to. So yeah, I don't know whereabouts the middle is, probably somewhere up here. So this is Ariel's hair, and a little bit of like the bottle, I suppose. And again, this is in Pattern Keeper. And I stitched 704 stitches, and it's at 6.07%. So yeah, there are blends in this one, and there is back stitch as well. So obviously Pattern Keeper doesn't factor in back stitch. So I am, you know, that's 6.07 of the cross stitches. But obviously I can put the blends into Pattern Keeper. So that's that one. One of my sort of like birthday weekend projects that I started, in fact I started this on my birthday, was this kit called The King of Flowers by Luca S. My sister bought me this for Christmas last year, and I absolutely love it. And I kept seeing Elisa stitching it from eCrafting in Colorado, and her and I talked about me starting it in April, for all the kits April, but I just didn't get around to it. So I thought I'm going to start that now. So I'm using all of the kit materials. It comes with a piece of 16 count white Ada, and then all of the floss, which I've started putting on floss drops, although there are only 3 colours so far. And what I did was I scanned in part of the pattern to begin with. Let me just show this to you so you can see where I got up to. So I think, yeah, I think this is the, so I started in the middle again. Just put this behind. It's really hard to show. So yeah, with just what I think is the beginnings of this middle flower. So it's really, really pretty. I love the colours. I did email Luca S though, because I heard Elisa say that she got a PDF copy of this and managed to get it in Pattern Keeper. So I did email Luca S and ask if I could have a copy of it. And they took a few days to get back to me, but they did get back to me and they sent me a copy. And I have put it in Pattern Keeper. I have to input all of the thread numbers, which I don't know whether these have got, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll tackle that next time I work on it. But it means that I can mark stitches off basically, which is going to be super helpful because this is a full coverage kit. So all of this background is stitched as well. And I don't think this has any back stitch. No, it doesn't. It's just full cross. So I think that's why the skill level is 3 and not higher. Yeah. So there's that one. Lots of crinkling. Okay. Another kit that I started was, oh no, this is Pink Rose by Magic Needle. There was a day when I just wanted something. I wanted a kit. I wanted something small. So I picked this up. I bought this a couple of years ago now. So this is stitched using 14 count. I think it's a cream Ada, yeah. And then it has, I don't know what kind of threads they are. Doesn't say on here, I don't think. It just says cotton. But they're all on this floss card, and I just kept them on there because it was a small one. And again, I started in the middle, and this is what I've stitched so far. Let's just put that behind it, and you can see the pattern there. So yeah, there we go. So this is the beginning of the inside of the rose, and then I came down and did a little bit of the stem just for some different variety and colour basically. So this won't take me too long to stitch actually. You know, if you look at the picture, you've just got the outside leaves of the rose and then the rest of the stem. So maybe another couple of rotations. Yeah, really like that. Okay. This is one that I've had kitted up for ages, and so I thought I would start it. Although I'm on the fence about it. Did I put this in Pattern Keeper? No, I think I might have it in markup. So this is Quaker Geometric Puzzle by Ink Circles, and there's 2 colourways that you can do. This one on the front, and then do I have, which is like a more jewel toned, and then there's also this colourway here that you can do. So but I really like the jewel tones, and I originally saw Erin stitching this from Two Martini Stitcher, and I really liked it. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count white linen using all the called for DMC. So these are the colours that I've used so far, but there are obviously others in here. And I don't have markup open, so I can't tell you how far I've got, but this is where we've got to. Here we go. So So it's a little bit like stitching a modern folk embroidery pattern. I do like the different colours and stuff. I think one of the things that I was thinking about was that it's a symmetrical pattern, so there are motifs in here that you will have to stitch again, and I don't know how I feel about that at the moment. Yeah, whereas with like I'm stitching Fruits of Plenty, there is some symmetry to it, but it's not the main focus of the pattern, and so therefore it keeps it fresh for me. But yeah, I do really like the colours. I think this will be one that I get out every now and again and just do, you know, 2 or 3 motifs. I mean, I managed to get that done in a day, which is pretty good going. And it does look pretty. So for example, this motif here repeats over here. And then this motif here, although it's not finished, it repeats again under here. So yeah. It just goes to show, doesn't it, that your tastes do change over time, especially when you're diving into a hobby, either for the first time or again after a while when the sort of landscape has changed. You know, I think that's definitely, you know, I dived back into it again in sort of 2021. I have been stitching since I was 16, but I'd had a bit of a gap and done bits and pieces along the way, but sort of dived really heavily into it again in 2021, and everything had changed. You know, I didn't discover Flosstube until shortly before that, and all of these different patterns outside of magazines, and sort of you get excited about things that other people are doing, and then you realise later on that that might not be your particular style. I don't know, yeah, but we'll keep going with it. There was a day when I needed to do something really little, so this is, I'm just going to give you a quick flash because this is not a picture, it's the actual pattern. This was a free pattern that Shannon Christine put up on her, I think I got it off of her Instagram, it's probably on her Facebook as well, it's Easter delivery. There you go. So I'm doing this on a piece of 28 count yellow, hand-dyed yellow even weave from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I'm using all of the called for DMC, and so that's how far I've got on that one. So I didn't have much time on this day, but I still got quite far with it. There's not like loads left to go. And it looks really lovely on this yellow fabric. When I first got this yellow fabric, I didn't really know what to do with it. And then I thought that'd be perfect for this pattern. And actually, this is just like a little corner of it cut off, and I've still got some left. So yeah, I reckon the next time I get that out, I'll finish that off. Okay, next up is a pattern I bought recently. This is Japanese Garden. It's by an Etsy shop called Cross Stitch Obsession. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I'm stitching this again on 25 count white even weave 1/1. I can't remember whether this is DMC or Royal Broidery. And I didn't write it on the back of here, which I normally do. Oh well. So with this one, let's see how far we've got. I do have this in Pattern Keeper. I stitched 548 stitches and it is at 11.18%. So there we go. So I think I started in the middle and then worked my way to the side, to the left hand side. So that's what you can see at the moment. It's the beginning of the tree and things. I think it's really beautiful. So I can't wait to get back to that one. then I think the last time that I filmed was the day that I started this one. This is Celtic Autumn, although picture, I should print a picture up of the conversion. This is the original colour scheme, and I'll put a picture up on the screen here of the conversion that I'm doing, and I'll put details of the conversion in the description box below. This is also on a piece of 28 count, oh hold on, 28 count evenly, but this is a fabric of the month from Sparkly's. It's their November, December, it's her November, December 2023 colourway. And show you where I got to. So I started at the top, and I started doing some of this sort of, these motifs at the top, and then I thought I'd come and do the border, bring the border down and start on her skirt down here, and sort of alternate between doing these motifs and the motifs that go down the side, and then her. So this is being stitched using all the called for DMC for the conversion. So yeah. So this is my first lavender and lace pattern that I started stitching, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, that is that one. Okay. Remember to print off a conversion picture for that one. Oh, and I've left Ariel on the bottle's picture out. I'll have to put that back later. Okay, so I mentioned to you that I stopped sort of like just after my birthday and decided I wanted to work on my Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is the second time I'm doing this pattern, and I'm stitching it this time for my mum, and the colours are 3608 and 33, and I got the third block done. Okay, so this is where we're at now. So yeah, did this block, which is the least stitch heavy block of them all so far, which was pleasant. But yeah, it's looking really, really good. So I'm not going to work on it in June, which makes me think that I need to do 2 blocks in July. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Okay. There's that one. And then I also stopped to work on my Quick Stitch Tranquil Tulip. So this is a Heaven and Earth design pattern, and the artwork's by Hannah Disney. So I'm trying to do 2,000 stitches on this a month in order to finish it in a year. And at the moment, let me see, I need to go back in my planner for a second. Let's go back to May. So in May, I stitched 2,416 stitches, and I'm now at 49.69%. So I'll put a picture up on the screen of where you saw it the last time. And then this is where we're at now. So I decided the last time I worked on this, let's just fold this in half. The last time I worked on this, so sorry, trying to wrangle fabric. So you can see it all. That instead of finishing this page and going across, I would come down and do the partial page under here, which I think is only like this much anyway. So that's what I started doing. I started finishing off this part. So this is a page finish. And then I'm working on this partial page underneath. So yeah, I really love the colours in this. And the sort of like the watercolory background. It's lovely. So yeah, again, I'm not going to work on this in June. So I am hoping to do 4,000 stitches on this in July. So I'm still on track to get it finished in a year. Or I think really it will be less than a year in the end, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, I also started, so back to the new starts, I also started, these are the flowers of the month. It's a free pattern by Ellen, does it say on here? Ellen Moira Stroh. Yes, Ellen Moira Stroh. I will leave a link to it in my WIP spreadsheet so you can go and check it out. But each of these are a pattern that you can download. I'm stitching them separately. When I first saw Jemima, the rocking stitcher, and Amy from Amy Loves Toads doing this, they were stitching it together. And they were stitching it all on one piece of fabric, and it did look really lovely, but I decided that I wanted to do them individually. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count white linen, and I also decided to do something that I saw, I think it was Heidi from Stitching Faye, I think she did this as well, or I've seen it online somewhere. What I wanted to be able to see is the month and the type of flower it was, so that I could, when I display these later, I knew I could go back to them and know what they were. So I found a backstitch font online, and what I did was I backstitched it as part of the frame, and it does sort of, you know, go right up to the stitching here. Same with the J, but I'm not too bothered about that. And then obviously the type of flower down here. So this is the carnation from January. I've just started that off. And I also think, can't remember her name, but the 310 stitcher is stitching these, and she was saying that each of the flowers is sort of 3,000 or 4,000 stitches. So they look small, and you can see that the box is small, but they're quite stitch heavy. There's a lot to stitch in those flowers. So yeah, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and I think it looks great, and I'm really glad that I did the thing with the month and the flower name. If I'd have thought about it a little bit more, I would have perhaps made the outside box slightly wider and taller, slightly bigger, so that it didn't interfere with this, but I didn't, and I'm fine with how it looks. So yeah. I'm stitching that one in Royal Broidery. Did I write that on the back of here? No, but I should have done. Honestly. RB. Yeah. But don't do that, I forget. I've got like 4 different kinds of floss, plus any projects that have fancy floss in them. So I really do need to remind myself, especially when floss looks so similar to each other. Okay, this one was a day when I was distracted by other things, so I didn't get much of a start on this at all. This is Butterflies in Flowers by Durene Jones. I bought this on her Etsy shop quite a while ago now. I'm stitching this with Royal Broidery as well, and I've even got a thread hanging off of this. So this is 25 count, 1/1, and I just started on the frame. Yeah. And I don't think it's in Pattern Keeper or anything, so I think I'm just marking it off in Good Notes. Yeah, I couldn't get it to go into Pattern Keeper. So, but like I said, it was a day when I was distracted by other things, so I didn't get to do much on that. Okay, few left. I'll save that big one till last. Okay, this is Sweet Clover. It's a pattern by Ekaterina Volkova, and you can buy this on her Beastie shop, and she has a series of like bee images like this, and I bought all of them. Loved them. So I started this one to begin with. This is in Saga on my tablet, so, and I'm filming on my tablet, so I can't tell you where I'm at, although I did put it on my Instagram. Let's have a little look on my Instagram and see whether, yeah. So I stitched 311 stitches and I'm at 7.78%. This is 28 count 2/2, and I'm stitching this using Royal Embroidery threads. And that's where we got to. It's just started in the top left hand corner. It was a little bit strange stitching 2/2 on a full coverage piece like this, but this does have blends in it, and I had a piece of material big enough, and I also, they're quite small designs. I can't remember the exact stitch count, but I thought maybe doing it 1/1 it'd be too small. Yeah, to display and see the beauty of it. So I decided to go with 2/2. There's that one. And there. Okay. This one is another one that I bought from, does it say the designer on it? No. So let's see. This one is called Magnolia, and it's by Velina Cross Stitch, and she does have an Instagram and a Boosty. Or did I buy this from her from VK? I'll link something down below so that you know where to go and find her. But it looks like this, and there are two versions of the pattern. You can get it like this, but also there's one where you don't stitch that thing around the edge, and that's what I'm doing. And then the name of it as well, I'm not stitching the name. That's in Russian anyway, but this one I'm stitching 2/2 again on 28 count, like ivory even weave that I had left over from Mum's latte piece. And this one is in Pattern Keeper as well. I've stitched 1001 stitches and I'm at 35.60%. So this is what, let's just fold this in half. This is what, this is really hard to show. There we go. This is what this is looking like so far. This has blends in it as well. But it is stunning. These are my colours, and I really like it on this colour of fabric as well. So yeah, that one is another one that's not going to take too long to finish. You know, a couple more rotations and that should be done, and I'm going to love displaying that somewhere. Okay. Second to last new start is a free pattern in Just Cross Stitch magazine. This is Happy Halloween by Autumn Lane Stitchery. You can buy this as a PDF pattern on their website, but I believe that this was in Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition from 2021. I think that's where I got it from. So yeah, I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count, or no, or this is 32 count actually, 32 count even weave that I got. It was a Fabric of the Month piece from Coffee Craft Fabrics. It's this dark sort of like Yeah, it's really pretty. And I started at the top here and started working my way over, and this is where we got to. This is using royal embroidery threads, yep, as well. So the coverage is really great. Yeah. That's quite stitch heavy though. Everything in that background is stitched. So yeah, it will take me a while to do that one, but I do really like the design. And that's my first Autumn Lane Stitchery pattern that I started as well. And the last new start, living in this beautiful bag from my friend Susie, is my chatelaine. So this is the Japanese Moss Garden mandala. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count even weave that was hand dyed by Kaylee at the sewing shop. I did myself a little few stitches up here so I knew which way round it went. Started in the middle. So this is going to be really hard to show. Let's just tuck the edges over, that might be easier. And this is where we got to. Oh, it's beautiful. So you can see I've had to do a little bit of frogging here, but I'll cover that up afterwards. So with starting this, the pattern comes in 3 sections. So you get, or is it 2? You get the middle, I think it's 3, middle mandala, which I think goes up to like this kind of squarey bit here. Then you get what's around the outside, and then around the outside of that. And then what you have to work out is what you're going to do first, because of course, like for example, when you're stitching a fancy lady, the ideal way of doing it, well, this is my opinion and a lot of people's opinion, is to stitch all the DMC full cross first, then do the cry neck, and then do the back stitch and the beads. But of course with the chatelaine, you've then got the speciality stitches to throw in, and some of the speciality stitches are in DMC and some of them are in cry neck, or petite treasure braid, or whatever it is. I think they're petite treasure braids in here. Just have a little look. Yeah, these are all of the speciality flosses. Yeah, and it's all, I think it's all petite treasure braid. And then I've also got all of my DMC. And these, I started putting them on floss drops. So the DMC's on floss drops. So you then have to make a choice about what order to do it in when you throw in the speciality stitches. So I decided that I was going to do DMC full cross first, then I was going to do speciality stitches that were in DMC, then cry neck that didn't, yeah, then the cry neck if it was sort of like not touching anything else that needed to be stitched, and then bead, and like then back stitch and bead. So that's what we're doing. So I folded this over again. Yeah, I did this, all of this DMC. Then I came in and did this little bit of petite treasure braid because it wasn't touching anything else that needed to be stitched. And then I came in and started doing these speciality stitches. I can't remember what they're called, but they're really great to do. And then what I will do is start putting in the speciality stitches in metallic threads, and then the beads. I am going to bead as I go because I am stitching this in hand, so I can basically. It's a bit of fabric to wrangle, but I don't have a problem with that. And if I need to, I could put it on a frame, but I think I'm okay with stitching it in hand at the moment. And I love it. I mean, if I just show you the whole piece of fabric, it's a big piece of fabric and more than I need. But look at those colours on that fabric. Yeah. I didn't want to put this down. I started this over my birthday weekend as well. And it was a delight to stitch. So, yeah, I can't wait to get back to that. Okay. Turn right, and then a couple of days before May ended, so when was it, so the 30th of May, I decided I've had enough of the new starts for now. I am going to do just June, and I'm going to start it now. So started it on the 30th of May, and then I've just continued on. So of course I am doing my Just June on Supersize Max Colour Stitching Shelf, artwork by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching this 1/1 on 25 count using DMC threads. And I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it. And I was finishing a page, like in the middle of finishing a page. Well, since then, I finished that page, I finished another page, and I've started another page. So I don't know how many stitches in total I've done. I didn't work that out. But I am now at 15.63%. So I'm going to show you the whole thing, and I'll tell you why this is out the frame that I had in a second. So this is what it's looking like in its entirety. Can you see? There we go. So I think the last time that we were together, I was finishing this page off here, and then I came, so if I just show you a bit closer. So I finished that page off. These lovely sort of poppy flowers down here. Then I came up here and finished this page with the hourglass, and then I always do 2 pages across and then 2 pages down. So then this one. This took me no time at all to stitch. It was quite confetti heavy, but I quite enjoyed stitching it actually. This one is taking me longer because the beginning of this page is solid sort of purple. So there wasn't much opportunity for me to come over here and fill in some of the stitches while I was doing this page. So I'm basically starting this page afresh. So it's going to take me a while. So you've got this purple book here, and then you've got some blossom and things, I'm not sure, after that. So that's what it's looking like. I was stitching this using my Needle Needs Necessaire stand every morning. When I finished this page down here though, you're having to stitch at the top of the page, and obviously I've got a 3-inch margin, but when you put it on a Q-snap, that 3-inch margin disappears. And so I was getting backache because I was leaning over. So I thought, I can't do this. So my options were, I could sew a piece of fabric to the top of this so I can bring it down a bit more. But then I thought, why don't I try putting it on a nerd hoop or a nerd frame, and then stitching it like that. And that's what I've been doing, and I've been taking it off every evening, so it gives the fabric the opportunity to, well, so it doesn't warp the fabric basically. And I've really been enjoying stitching it like that. Sometimes I put it on my Lowry frame, but most of the time I don't. I just hold the nerd hoop and I just let the rest of the fabric hang down. Like I'm not going to wrangle it because I'm taking it out every evening. I don't want to spend ages putting it back in again. What I have been doing though, because I don't want to damage what I've already stitched, when I put it in the nurge heap, I do fold a bit of this over so that you're not, so that this is the bit that the nurge is touching and not this. You can't put loads of fabric in the nurge heap because it doesn't work. It's not like a Q-snap like that where you fold over fabric on every side. I can't do that, but I can do it on one edge. And then I figured once I'd done these 2 pages, I can put it back in my Q-snap and do the bottom 2 pages on my necessaire stand like I was doing before. Or I might just stick to the nurge. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I stitched, there was one day where I ended up stitching, I've written it down somewhere. So Sunday, the 9th of June, I stitched 1,176 stitches. And I wasn't stitching all day, I was just, yeah, and then Monday the 3rd, 1,169 stitches. I mean, both of those I wasn't working, but again, like I wasn't working on it all day. It was pretty mental. So yeah, but I'm really loving working on this. And I've had conversations with people, with a couple of different people about, oh, wouldn't it be really lovely just to carry on? And I worked out if I wanted to get to the other end of the shelf by the end of the year, I think I need to do something like 430 stitches a day. So if you work that out over a week or a month, what's that a month? 430 times, let's say 31. Oh, that's a lot of stitches. Yeah, I don't know whether anyway, yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, this is where we're at. So cool. Okay. Right, so those are all of my whips and new starts. Nice little pile over here. I suppose we'll go through some haul. I don't have loads of it, but I have a little bit. Although now that I'm getting the box out, maybe I do have some. Oh, so I was going to ask your opinion. So I bought this new pattern from Petunova. I'll leave a link to where you can buy the pattern down below, but she teased this a couple of times and then the pattern came out, and when she teased it I knew I was going to have to buy it. This is Japanese Girl and Chrysanthemums. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Honestly, like the colours, her face, look at her really lovely hair. I just love it. And then I got this piece of Fabric of the Month from Fabrics by Crafty Kate. It's a 28 count even weave in this lovely green colour. And I wondered whether I could stitch it on that, or whether I need a white or a really, really pale blue fabric. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that would work? Yeah, because I was kind of thinking, oh, you know, a really pale green, a really pale blue, or a really pale pink would work well with that, or even a pale purple. Something pastel-y. But you tell me what you think of that. There is obviously some green up here, but it's backstitched, so I don't know whether, I don't think it would blend in. I mean, what do you think? Yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts, because I'm sort of, I like it, but I'm still on the fence about it. Oh, and I also need your thoughts with this one. So I got a really lovely birthday surprise. One of my subscribers sent me a gift card to 123 Stitch. And when I say I was blown away, I just, her generosity just astounds me. I obviously thanked her before, but yeah, I just can't get over it, basically. So I decided to spend the money kitting up Wilbur by Teresa Coget, because he keeps calling to me. He's just so cute. And I have 2 pieces of fabric in here. One I bought from 123 Stitch, and another one that I had sort of put aside to see whether I wanted to stitch it with that. So this is the one I bought from 123 Stitch. It's 28 count linen from Fibre on a Whim in the colour Peony. So yeah, there's that choice. Or this is a Sparkly's Fabric of the Month from January and February of this year. And it's like this purple colour. So I've seen on Instagram some pictures of people stitching it in a dark purple and it looks lovely, but also with the pink as well. So you tell me what you think. Do I go with the purple or do I go with the pink? I would love your thoughts. So I also bought all of the speciality threads that I needed. I do need to buy the DMC, but these are the speciality threads. So you've got Classic Colourworks in Candy Jams, Clay Pot and Persimmon, and Weeks Dye Works in Sand and Rum Raisin. So these are the speciality flosses, and I mean, maybe what's that one? Clay Pot is maybe blending in slightly, I'm not sure. Not on that one. But then I don't have the DMC to do a floss toss, so yeah. Any thoughts? Leave them down below. But yeah, so I managed to kit him up, and then I bought a couple of other speciality threads for a different project with the remaining, yeah. So I'm going to leave both of those pieces of fabric in there and let you guys give me some advice on what you think I should do with that. And thank you again to that lovely lady who sent me that absolutely wonderful birthday present. I will never forget it. So I had bought the entire Beach Boardwalk series. They're all in this bag. Last year when they were coming out. And needed a piece of fabric to stitch them on. And Megan from Coffee Car Fabrics, she was doing a sign up where you could buy the charts and the floss and everything. And I asked her, can I just have the piece of fabric? Because I've got all of the charts and then I'll just kit up. I'll kit up the threads later. And so she said, yeah, sure. So this is a piece of 8 by 20, 28 count. In this beautiful blue colour. So yeah, I think they're going to look lovely on there, like a bright blue sky for a really summery set of little cute buildings. So yeah, I got that. Thank you very much, Megan. That pile is becoming too big now. Let's just put it here. This is a pattern that I bought from Boosty. Oh God, I'm going to have to, let's see if I can, if I've written it down in my pattern list. Probably have. Yeah. Okay, so I bought this from a Boosty shop. I saw it a while ago, and then over my birthday weekend, I was looking at it again and thought I'm just going to get it. This is called Spring Unicorn, and it's via AVastya stitch. Look at that. This has got Bella's name written all over it. She does have another one in the series, which I think is called the Summer Unicorn. It's got lots of purples in it. Oh, it's amazing. Look at that hair. I love it. So yeah, this is 157 by 139. It has 24 colours in it. You can see it's got some half stitch in the background. Yeah, beautiful. Have some fabric from Megan. Couple of one of these was a pre-order fabric, so I don't like getting these out of the packet, so I'm not going to. This is like a really dark tealy purpley fabric that she was doing as a pre-order, so I thought that might be nice for like a mermaid or something like that. Love it. And then these were part of her Fabric Super Sunday a couple of, well, about a month ago now. So this is like, these are all 28 count even weave, like a nice pinky colour. This is kind of like what I was going for when I dyed that piece of fabric for Summer Sampler. So yeah, I had to get that. And then this is the lovely purple. Yeah, beautiful. I got the next one in the Fabulous Houses series. I've got these on auto ship from Patchwork Rabbit. So this is Treehouse. That's really sweet. I love all the birds around it. I found a copy of this Mirabilia pattern for a good price on eBay. So this is Mermaid of the Pearls. She's beautiful. She has lots of treasures and cryonic. But yeah, really love her. And I've seen her on some gorgeous fabric, and that's what drew me to getting her. Someone was destashing this kit on Facebook, and I'd had this on my wish list for a while. I can't remember which Flosstuber is stitching this. But anyway, it's Wish Upon a Star. It's one of their bigger, Wish Upon a Star by Mill Hill. It's one of their bigger pieces. You can see, look, it's quite, from Mill Hill, it's the biggest that I've seen anyway. But it comes with all of the floss and all of the beads that you need to do it. And I really liked the stars and the moon in this one, and all the nature. So that's what drew me to this one. I treated myself for my birthday to a pattern that I'd wanted for ages that's out of print. And this is Santa of the Forest by Lavender and Lace. I found this for a more reasonable price on eBay. And it's like brand new. But I just love all of the creatures that are inside like his coat. I think they're gorgeous. I especially love this bear. This bear has got such a lovely face. And I've seen quite a few people stitching this, and I just love it every time I look at it. So I was thinking maybe a green fabric for this, for the background of this one. Oh, I steal it from there. Too light? Don't know. You can tell me what you think of that idea as well. I bought, this is the thing that I'd wanted for a while. I can't remember what Flosstuber it was that was showing this, but it's a booklet with some Peter Rabbit patterns in it. So it's the Tower of Peter Rabbit. It's book 549 from Green Apple. So it has all of these different designs in it. And I saw this going for like 30 quid or something like that. And I thought, I'm not paying that. And then it came up for like 3 quid. I thought I'll have that. And then this came up. This is another out of print kit from Dimensions that came up. I save searches all of the time for such a reasonable price, and I immediately bought it. It was a buy it now thing. So this is Hibiscus Duo. It's a kit from 2005. And I originally saw this as a copied pattern on something like Shein or something like that, and I thought that's a copyright thing there. So I reverse searched the image, and it came up saying that it was a Dimensions kit. So I saved it as a search on eBay, and it came up. So yeah, I love anything with flowers and hummingbirds. Really pretty. So this comes with 14 count ivory Ada, all the thread, and this is my first one that's come with a little spool of blending filament. So that'll be interesting to work with. Yeah, it's Cryonic. So presumably you use that and another thread together. Not sure. We'll find out. Got to sort all those threads out first. Okay. I have this other green from Kate at Sparkly's. This was the March and April fabric of the month. That's a bit dark that you're seeing it on screen there. It's a little bit lighter than what you're seeing. So I could use those for one of the other patterns. Let's just go back to, where's Santa of the Forest? That could be a possibility. Yeah. I'll have to have a little look on Instagram and see what other people are stitching that in. This is the April fabric of the month from Kate at Fabrics by Crafty Kate. Yeah. Quite unusual actually. That was the May one. Yeah, and look, the June one to come. It's like blue and beige together. I was wondering whether that duck pattern that I had, the mallards flying off, I can't remember what it's called now. Have I got it written down somewhere? Must have. I've got a pile of stuff on top of here. Let's see if I can find it. Timber Mallards by Randy McGovern. Yeah, I was wondering whether that would look okay on there. I'm not going to go and pull the pattern out of my cupboard, but there we go. Right, then I had these on a pre-order from Kate at Sparkly's when they first came out, and now I've got them. This is Cordelia by Bella Filipina. I absolutely love her. She's beautiful, and I love her teal hair and like her pink tail with the peach. It's so pretty. So yeah, I got that, and then I also got the first 2 mermaids in Nora Corbett's new series. Oh, these are bent a little bit in my box. I have to bend them back. These are the North Atlantic Mermaid and the South Atlantic Mermaid. I think she's released another one in the series since. I'm going to have a little look. But yeah, I did really like those. And then, yeah, I printed this off because I don't know whether I showed this to you. I bought February from Ameli Stitch a while ago now, but I'd never printed it out and I don't know whether I showed it to you. She has these, she's been doing these monthly ones as a series. And I really liked the February one. I might go back and buy some of the other monthly ones. But yeah, it's really pretty. Doreen Jones was having a sale on her Etsy shop over the Easter break, I think. Or was it the first bank holiday weekend? Can't remember. Anyway, I ended up buying just one thing. This is Snowman candle mat. Just because this has got a little bit of like English paper piecing to it. And I thought that might be quite nice to give a go. So you stitch all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 motifs. And then you paper piece them and then back them on to some fabric. And then make like a little candle mat out of them. I really like that idea. So I bought that. And then the last one that I got was Whimsical Village by Tam Stitch Designs. Look at how pretty that is. This is the first time I'd come across this Etsy shop, and she has some lovely patterns. So yeah, I need to get some fabric for that. It's full coverage, I think. Yeah, I want to get some fabric for that, 28 count. So I think that's everything. God, I'm hungry again. I definitely need a drink. Life-wise, so I talked a little bit about life at the beginning. So yeah, we just had a bathroom finished. It is supposed to be summer here, but the weather in the UK has been so weird over the last few weeks. We seem to have some really lovely weather in May, and then in June, which is, you know, in recent years has been quite a hot month, has been very up and down. We've had lots of rain, lots of like colder days, not to the point where it feels like it's winter, but like, for example, I have my summer wardrobe out and, you know, I've been putting a hoodie on some of the time, like, yeah, and trousers for work just because it's been cold. So yeah, he's hoping that that changes in the next couple of weeks. What have we got coming up in June? It's Father's Day this weekend, so I'm taking Stefan to lunch, and yeah, got some presents for him, so that'd be lovely. And then we've got, yeah, various different things coming up. Bella's got her dance show coming up, so we've got some rehearsals to do and things like that. So yeah, all of that kind of stuff. Nothing like majorly exciting. So I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. If you've got any comments on anything that I started or I'm stitching, or the fabric choices for either Wilbur, Japanese Girl and Chrysanthemums, or Santa in the Forest. Yeah, if you've got any advice on those, I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you all have a good couple of stitchy weeks. I do want to be back in a couple of weeks and not leave it so long again. So yeah, have a good couple of stitchy weeks, and I will see you soon. Bye.